Rashad, why you
Anyways.
didn't hit me up?
What's up, Rashad?
Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.
And all that stuff like that. So, shouts out to Andre G. They shouted out that Louis Keene, he actually wrote about this 4 years ago on his Substack about this entire thing. The arena's net zero emissions claim about the trees and stuff like that. So he said he wrote about this 4 years ago, man. A new arena will never be a moral achievement, and will any attempt to claim that it as one should be greeted with contempt. Having said that, inventing stadium toilets that are incapable of getting pee on the seat is pretty cool. Dang. And then where she wrote about the Clippers and the fraudulent tree planting 4 years ago. That's right. CEO came to the Jewish Journal offices a few years ago when I was freelancing there. Sad to say they were full of crap then too. People told me he was going to be the next governor of California. Sheesh. So there it is. Salute to bro. Shout out to Louis. Had to say that because, you know, with Pablo, you know how I feel about Pablo this year. Sports Journalist of the Year. All right. So let me watch this.
Executives were suspicious of how Steve Ballmer's Clippers landed the most valuable free agent on the market, Kawhi Leonard. That the NBA did not find that Ballmer got Kawhi by sweetening their offer.
Mm-hmm.
But also that in March 2025, this celebrity-endorsed, multi-billion-dollar, allegedly fraudulent tree brokerage named Aspiration, which promises to clear your conscience and your emissions, they filed for bankruptcy. And this is where the clue is. What David's looking at with his glasses on is a bankruptcy filing, and there's a list of creditors. The entities to which Aspiration and all of their alleged fraudulence still owes the most money. And what I noticed is what David is noticing right now, which is that on that list of creditors, up near the top, above the Boston Red Sox, is an LLC, a tiny little company that Aspiration owes $7 million. And that LLC's name, David, is what?
KL2 Aspire LLC.
And what does it list there under manager or member name?
Kawhi Leonard.
Whose NBA jersey number, just to connect all of the dots here, happens to be what?
Number 2.
So then the question is, the Aspire part of KL2 Aspire LLC, right? Because, okay, he's getting all this money, millions of dollars. What I started doing was scour the internet for any mentions of Aspiration. Any appearances, tweets, quotes, Instagram posts, anything by Kawhi Leonard endorsing Aspiration. And this was hard to find, which also might seem weird, right? Because every other celebrity Aspiration gave money to was well known. There was Drake offering a statement to Rolling Stone. There was Doc Rivers, Kawhi's own head coach. Robert Downey Jr. was cutting his commercial. That was the whole point of paying the A-list Avengers. But the grand total number of times that I found Kawhi Leonard ever publicly referencing Aspiration, 0 times Kawhi Leonard mentioned.
So that was the thing. I was wondering the whole day, like, what is the scam here? He scammed to sign with the Clippers, not to go home and bring a championship to my hometown team. He was getting more money than he. Ooh. Pablo found this out too. Boy, you in trouble.
Aspiration. And so what I started doing was reaching out to dozens of former Aspiration employees.
That boy Kawhi got an NIL deal.
A grand total of 7 of them ultimately agreed to interviews, which is also how I have exclusively obtained this signed and executed document.
In consideration of the rights and benefits granted to company hereunder, the company will pay KL2, which is Kawhi, $28 million in cash during the term of this agreement. Company will pay KL2 $7 million each year of the term.
That is Kawhi Leonard's autograph. I convinced one very important person who worked in the finance department of Aspiration to go on tape.
And I didn't so much as discover it as I was told about it.
What was your reaction? What were you told?
My reaction was, what the fuck? And I was told, like, oh, these are the major contracts and the major players you really need to be aware of. And we went through a litany of, really, really top tier name contracts. And then, oh, by the way, we also have a marketing deal with Kawhi Leonard, a $28 million organic marketing sponsorship deal with Kawhi. And that if I had any questions about it, essentially don't, because it was to circumvent the salary cap. LOL. There was lots of LOL when things were shared.
Did you ever see proof of Kawhi Leonard marketing or endorsing Aspiration in any way?
Never, not once. The single largest payment to an individual for marketing that Aspiration ever made has completely evaded all press. It's honestly incredible. Nothing. He didn't have to do anything.
In other words, Kawhi Leonard got from Aspiration a $28 million no-show job.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm honestly so jealous. So jealous. I mean, he's got the dream. Like, it's within my beliefs to be paid $28 million and do absolutely all as well.
The Clippers, however, provided a statement on behalf of the organization and owner Steve Ballmer, which reads in part, quote, "Neither Mr. Ballmer nor the Clippers circumvented the salary cap or engaged in any misconduct related to Aspiration. Any contrary assertion is provably false." End quote.
That's crazy, bro. Them folks was scamming. That man got him an NIL deal. Kawhi got an NIL deal. What the heck? Bro, that's insane, dude. So, okay. Hold on. Now that I've watched this, let me look at what Mark Cuban said. I'm on Team Ballmer. As much as I wish they didn't circumvent the salary cap, first, Steve isn't that dumb. If he did try to feed Kawhi Leonard money, knowing what was at stake for him personally and his team, do you think he would let the company go bankrupt, knowing all creditors will be visible to the world? They got scammed by Aspiration along with many others, crimes for which they pled guilty to last week. Scammers do scammy things. They did a $300 million sponsorship deal with the Clippers in 2021. That's a huge all caps deal. The better the team does, the more valuable the sponsorship has. It actually makes perfect sense that if they stole money from investors and want the Clippers to succeed, why not give the money to help them keep their best player? It's sad that Pablo Torre didn't take the time to find out how these scammers pulled off their scam. The idea is that the default is that Ballmer is the bad guy and it's going back to firing.
What we know is that NBA executives were...
So he put out the $300 million sponsorship deal with Aspire. U.S. probes into turn LA's new basketball. And then here's from the Justice Department. Aspiration partners with co-founder charged and pleads guilty to from last week. Did you watch the entire podcast and see the literal mountains of evidence? He said, I did. How much did they discuss that Aspiration was run by scammers? How much did they question that maybe they could be behind this? So that was Mark's kind of thing. I haven't watched the full thing. I know Pablo was talking about the full thing was an hour and stuff like that. That was my first time just seeing that clip. I avoided it all day. But that boy, ooh-wee. So Pablo responded to Mark Cuban. And he said this, Dear Mark Cuban, care to come on Pablo's Found Out to discuss my reporting? I have some questions I'd love to ask you. Thanks, Pablo. And Mark Cuban responded, at the very, you being an iconic and gets quoted. Pablo set a trap and wait for that opportunity to send the invite. Gotcha. Look at Nico. Wait, you said Steve isn't that dumb, and then in the next sentence you said he got scammed. Pablo sends on business, rooting for you. I hope it comes out factual or likely a career ended due to how viral it went and the credibility will be tarnished. One shot for the home run, we will see. Definitely not. Because he made on that on the NFL collusion, and he made on the Bill Belichick. I was about to say Brady for some reason. I kept thinking Brady. Bro made the biggest mistake in his life. His reporting on the NFLPA checked out. I think he has grits on this one too. All right, so here we go. Then Mark Cuban responded to Pablo, and he said this. He said nobody going to jail. Oh, I didn't even know SSB came back. You was gone for a whole hour. I didn't even see you. Nothing is coming out of this. Nobody's going to jail. Nobody's getting any punishment. This is going to be thrown on the rug, and everybody's going to act like nothing happened in a month. Because basketball is going to be back. Mark Cuban said, just sent you a DM. Happy to. Like, imagine, like, Raising Cane's paying, like, Zion Williamson $50 million. And Zion ain't in one Raising Cane's commercial. You'd be like, what the heck? What's going on? What's going on? Just sent you a DM. I'm happy to. So here we go, man. It's set up. Get your popcorn ready, man. At least we get the discussion. All I want to know. He said I was eating. I'm out right now. Oh yeah. SSB. My bad. SSB. It is a early stream. I had to keep that in mind. I was like, I thought SSB was gone, so I was just moving on. He said, nah, I'm right here, twin. I was just gone. You doing this when people actually still doing stuff in the day. Clippers statement from Shams Karina. Neither the Clippers, this is what we heard already from Pablo's. After a long campaign of market manipulation, where we at? Which defrauded not only Steve, but numerous other investors of sports team, Aspiration filed for bankruptcy. Its co-founder, Joseph Sandberg, recently pleaded guilty to $243 million fraud. Neither Steve nor the Clippers had any knowledge of improper activity by Aspiration or its co-founder until after the government initiated its investigation. Aspiration was a team sponsor for the 2021, 2022, and 2022-2023 seasons. Before defaulting on its contract. There is nothing unusual or untoward about the team sponsors doing endorsement deals with players on the same team. Neither Steve nor the Clippers organization had any oversight of Kawhi's independent endorsement agreement with Aspiration. They said we ain't even know. So y'all ain't have no clue. Okay. So the official team sponsor didn't know that their star player had a $28 million agreement with the official team sponsor. That's like the Clippers, right? Say the Clippers in 2011, their official team sponsor was Kia. And Blake Griffin jumps over to Kia at the dunk contest, everything like that. And Kia gave Blake Griffin a $30 million contract. You saying the Clippers ain't have no idea after Blake Griffin did all that and he became synonymous with Kias in the early 2010s that they ain't have no idea about it? Well, it's ironic. It's the same franchise, but yeah. All right. To say otherwise is flat out wrong. Okay. I did not do steroids, period. And if you know, you know. Shout out to, you know what I mean? I ain't even going to say the name. If you know, you know. The Clippers take NBA compliance extremely seriously, fully respect the league's rules, and welcome this investigation related to Aspiration. The Clippers will continue to cooperate with law enforcement in its investigation into Aspiration's blatantly fraudulent activity. Let me see. He said, I just got out. He said, but to be honest, if you were to go through many athletes, teams, owners, there's always some shady stuff. 100%. Like in college. Like I said, this is some like Kawhi was getting NIL deals, bro. Kawhi on an NIL deal. He got his college money, he got his job money, and then he got his, you know what I'm saying? His side money. But yeah. Okay, so there's that. Okay, and next up, there's some.
Rashad, why you didn't hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.